The increased number of infected cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria in the last few days shows that the second wave of the pandemic is already with us. With the number of infected persons pegged at 675 as of yesterday, according to NCDC, it appears that the days when the issue of lockdown besieged our daily lives in Nigeria is cropping up. The question is, how compliant are we to the safety protocols given by the authorities towards ensuring that we protect ourselves from the deadly virus? On COVID-19 Talks today, we will continue with sanitization as being sponsored by the National Orientation Agency with the support of UNICEF. Welcome to COVID-19 Talks. My name is Ifani Awa.
At Flow 94.9 FM, we've got conducive and well-secured environment for business. High-tech video studio, a state-of-the-art production studio. You can also listen live on www.flow949fm.com and watch our videos on YouTube at Flow FM TV. Flow 94.9 FM, not just radio, but a complete broadcasting house.
And with me today to talk some more about the issues of COVID-19 and also talk about prevention, the use of face masks also, I've got Reverend Dr. Stanley Okerulu. He is a medical doctor at the Isolation Center in Umuahia. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Abians. Thank you for having me this morning once again.
It's nice to have you in our station this morning.
Thank you.
Now, sadly enough, the numbers keep increasing daily. We thought we're at the point where the numbers were off. We thought we were at a point where the numbers were off. But right now, yesterday, 675 cases registered, and it seems to be increasing every day. Even there's some news about the federal government ordering isolation centers to reopen. Now, should we be scared at this point?
The general landmark of COVID-19 in Nigeria, and maybe let me say to an extent in the world, is that the fear has gone so down, but the transmission has also gone high. Now, we are not saying you should be scared of it, because if you are scared, you may not do anything. But being aware that it exists and is still being transmitted from one person to another, just should raise your consciousness that you should either protect yourself, or beyond protecting yourself, also protect the person near you as you interact with people daily, because it's inevitable currently for us to interact with one another. However, in the sense of interacting with one another, we need to take adequate preventive measures. For example, a lot of patients were also brought in day before yesterday in our isolation center here in Umuahia, and who are admitted in the isolation center. And if you look at the rapid growth in the trend of COVID recently, like 3 days ago was 500 and something, day before yesterday was 4 something, then yesterday is 675. That's massive. And Nigeria so far has recorded about 71,000 plus cases of COVID-19. Now, if you look at all these things, you will discover that this is just a tip of the iceberg, because we are not even testing. We are not doing sufficient testing as it were. Now, if we now do sufficient testing, you will see that this is probably just about 5% of the real number of what is happening in the nation currently. So you will not be surprised that the next person near you is having it. For example, the core members who came to camp, about a good over 10 of them were diagnosed of COVID and were brought to isolation center. So we need not to be afraid, one, but we need to understand that this thing exists, and if one person doesn't die from it, another may die from it. If one person doesn't suffer the severe disease, another may suffer that severe disease. So it's important that we continue to take these adequate measures to prevent transmission of this disease, because you don't know who will eventually come down with it.
All right. Now, you talked about the prevention. Now, let's look at the methods of prevention. It seems we seem to have forgotten. I remember when Ebola came in, we were, into washing hands and following the protocols. COVID-19 started off at the early stage. We obeyed a couple of things, but right now we seem to have, it looks like we no longer think it exists, or maybe we've won the battle against COVID-19. So what are the prevention methods?
Like we've been singing it always.
Yeah.
It became a song. I remember some months ago that almost every Nigerian, especially during the peak of lockdown, almost every Nigerian had the prevention techniques at their fingertips. But currently, most people have forgotten. But I think and with your effort as the media people, constantly remind ourselves that this is very important. Some countries are even going for their second lockdown. And that's, if Nigeria goes for second lockdown with our economy, my father, we're going to be in a challenging situation. So let's recap from head to toe, or from one to the end, as much as we can. What are the, if I say let's put on the phone line, many people will tell me even their own modifications of the prevention, but essentially there are key things which, as a citizen and as anybody who is conscious of this COVID not catching you or not being transferred from you to another, the key things you must do. One is wearing of face mask compulsorily if you are going out of your house or if you are going anywhere at all. Like before I came, you saw me with my own face mask, and I'm still wearing my own face mask. It's just I'm talking with the mic. So I had to give you a distance and talk. So wearing face masks, as much as we can, should be a routine. Now is our new norm. Now is the new normal. If I see somebody wearing face mask, I will not see the person as being abnormal. But if we were to be like last 2 years, I see somebody wearing face mask, I will say this guy is having some psychiatric issue. But now, wearing face mask is a new normal that nobody will query you for wearing face mask, even if you are wearing it where it seems that you shouldn't wear it. Even if you are wearing it while talking to people, nobody will stop you. So I want to encourage Nigerians and Abians specifically, because we want this to really be at zero level in Abia State generally. So Abians, please adhere to wearing face mask. The benefit of wearing face mask is that while you are wearing it, if you peradventure have COVID-19 or have any airborne disease, you trap them to yourself, so you may not transmit it to another person, or the degree of transmitting it decreases to a very barest minimum. So wearing face mask helps you to prevent another person, your neighbor. Like if I'm wearing my face mask, I'm talking to you, those droplets that my mouth releases when I'm talking to you will not get to you because they are being trapped in the face mask. And it's very important to wear that face mask correctly. It's not just wearing the face mask, especially the surgical mask. Now we have permitted people to wear cloth made mask. In fact, you see some ladies, because it's a new norm, they will fashion and they will put the same
different colors for everything. Depends on what they wear.
Some people have over 21 face masks for each of their dress. So if you are wearing this Ankara today, there's a face mask. In fact, tellers now, almost all tellers have learned how to make face masks. So that when you are making Ankara, whether you tell the tailor, there's my friend who is a tailor, whether I tell her to make face masks or not, she preserve one part of the cut out clothes to use to make face masks for you, and that's good. That's wonderful. So what I'm saying to say is that face masks prevent you from transmitting to another person, and also to some extent prevent you from contracting it to some extent, particularly if you wear the surgical face mask, which has about a good percent, over 70% possibility of preventing you from getting it. Now what it does is that if you wear surgical face masks, the colored part should face outwards. That colored part has a chemical that they call that prevent, they will call it repellent.
Okay.
It repels viruses, bacteria, things, microorganisms away. So when they fall on top, they go away, they fall off. So wearing it with the surgical part or the colored part out is the best for the surgical face mask. Is the best way of wearing it, and you're likely not to contract it. That's for wearing. I don't know if I'm taking too much time with
No, go on.
Okay, fine. So, but the inner part, which is white, is the absorbent layer. We call it absorbent layer. So when you're talking, your moisture gets trapped on that absorbent layer, and you will not contract and you will not transfer the virus to another person. Now if you wear it the other way around, one, you may likely start having sore throat easily because the colored part is inside and you are easily to take in the chemical used to make it a repellent layer.
Okay.
Then also it will not, before you know it becomes bad because it will not absorb the moist. It will just be making it look wet, and you see your face mask looking wet. Then if you're wearing it backwards, the white part facing outward, when somebody talks or when some droplets come, because it's absorbent layer, it absorbs it. It absorbs viruses, absorbs anything and stays there. And when you inhale, there's what we call inhalational capacity. Now when you inhale, if the force of your inhalation goes beyond the barrier, there's a middle layer called the barrier layer. Then you can now take in that thing that has absorbed can now take it in through your nose. So that's why it's good to wear it correctly and always. So wearing face masks is one of the most important way of preventing this COVID-19. The other ways include hand sanitizing. Sanitize your hands frequently. Recommended timing for sanitizing hands every 30 minutes. The last time during the lockdown, we recommend every 30 minutes you sanitize your hand to make sure that all germs that you may have acquired in the last 30 minutes, you have cleared them. Why? Because this, as you're interacting with people, shaking hands or doing any other thing, which we had also recommend people not to shake hands but wave.
Yeah, you can wave.
As you touch things, you don't know where the droplets are, and you may have probably contracted it or carried the droplets from the tables or from the surfaces where you've touched. So face masks, hand sanitizing, perfect. If you can do these two consistently as a human being, you will likely run away from COVID. You will likely run away from COVID. Then the others that we support is social distancing. We can't talk about it enough. Social distancing, at least 1 meter. We used to say 2 meters, but because of the ease of lockdown, we can say, okay, 1 meter from the next person. Even in the airport, where you go there, you see them with the marks. But now some people will ignore the map. So please, as much as you are saving yourself, you are not saving the next person. So let your health be a priority to you. Don't allow yourself get to the point where you start begging us that, oh, don't put me in the isolation center, don't take us in. If you get to that point, then there's nothing you can do. So I beg us to keep social distancing as important as possible. When you sit down, when you're in the public, make sure the next person is far from you, in addition to wearing face masks and sanitizing your hand. Then cleaning surfaces is very important. Then cough, there's what called cough etiquette. Or when you want to cough, you cough into your elbows or come into your sleeves. It's very important so that you will not transmit the virus to other people. Yeah.
Now, when we come back, we're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, I'll talk about some more about this face mask wearing, especially in the offices, and also talk about the issue of the vaccines. Also, look at that. Also, this is the COVID-19 talk. Stay tuned.
At Flow 94.9 FM, we've got conducive and well-secured environment for business. High-tech video studio, a state-of-the-art production studio. You can also listen live on www.flow949fm.com and watch our videos on YouTube at Flow FM TV. Flow 94.9 FM, not just radio, but a complete broadcasting house.
Welcome back. This is still COVID-19 Talks. Is brought to you by the National Orientation Agency with the support of UNICEF. My name is Ifeanyi Awa, and I've been speaking with Reverend Dr. Stanley Okerulu, medical doctor at the Isolation Center, Umaya. We've talked about the preventive measures and also face mask wearing, which is very important.
Yes.
Now, quickly, because we're almost out of time, let's talk about the issue of wearing face masks in the offices. Sometimes we come to the offices and we feel like relaxed in the offices. Sometimes you have to deal with people a lot of times, and sometimes you need to communicate and you feel it's making you uncomfortable. So what is the advice for this?
Okay, you in fact, if I ask you what is my advice, you will tell me what my advice should be because you already know the answer to my advice. Now, once you are in an office where you are not the only one using that office, you are sure you are more than one. You are not alone in the office. You are 2, 3, 4. In fact, some offices, I believe me, that you see as if it's a hostel because there are many people using that office. In such an environment, it's almost becoming crowded. So you need to, as much as you can, wear face masks. We recommend that. Then if everybody wears it, then we are safe. So my recommendation cannot be far from continue to wear your face mask. Now, the truth is that there may be some discomforts and so on. That's why it's good for you to, at your own convenient time, select the one that you are okay with. N95 masks may be more painful. If it's cloth masks that is okay for you, please use cloth mask. There must be a face mask that is convenient for you. If you are not comfortable with the surgical mask or the N95 mask, maybe the one made with your clothes, the clothes you wear on your body, may be better for you. So use a convenient face mask. Let the tailor sew it the way it will not be too tight on your ear. Then again, if we want to recommend you to stop touching your face and eyes because it's very delicate. So wearing that face mask would is what I always advise. If you're in an office where you're not alone, but if you're in an office where you're alone, it's wise that when you come into the office, that's why it's good to have many. That one you have used outside, you pull it, drop it in a bleach for use most subsequent, then pick another one.
Okay.
Now, face mask. If you come to my car, I have a pack always in my car. If you go down, you want to do a test. Now, if you go down, you will see a pack always in my car. I keep using it until it's finished. I buy another one and continue to use.
Sorry, how long is the advice? How long should you use a face mask before maybe discarding it or washing it?
And depending on the type of face mask, like this type I'm wearing now is a disposable surgical face mask. Okay. Ideally, after use, I should discard it. This one is not recyclable. It's not recyclable at all. But the clothes face mask that you make with your usual Ankara clothes or usual other any cloth material, it can be recycled. After using it, put it in the bleach or put it in hot water.
Like after a whole day?
If possible, if you can use one for a whole day and you can do that, fine. But if you know you can't without it become moist, well, you can change maybe 2 or 3 times a day, morning after TDS. Okay. let me prescribe the face mask as if I'm prescribing drug. Yeah. 1 TDS or 1 QDS. Okay. So 4 times a day. So if you do one in the morning, by 12 you change, put another one by 1. You understand? But the point is make sure you're wearing the face mask. You yourself will know what degree of face mask or how often you should change it by your usage and by how comfortable you start being, or when you're moist, how much. Like now I've talked so much, my face mask before I go will be very wet, or if I'm talking in public, so I have to change it. So it may be 10 minutes you have changed one because of the frequency of engaging that face mask in activity. So you should narrow it down to yourself. Know by your consciousness, is this face mask now bad? Is it not bad? Okay, should I change it at this point or no? Is it smelly? Is it that? So you change it and put on another one. I think that's the general safest way.
All right. Before I let you go because of time, it seems we've lost focus when it comes to the fight against COVID-19, and as you can really see, some persons do not care. Some persons are still either do not believe in COVID-19 or feel like COVID-19 is no longer in Nigeria, in Abia State, or in Africa. When you try to talk to them about COVID-19, they tend not to be concerned about it. So what is your advice to them, because the cases keep increasing?
The truth is that the reasons why we're having increasing cases is that people relaxed. A lot of people relaxed. In fact, even the medical people relaxed. Like if you go to some hospitals now, the hospitals that usually insist that face masks must be wear before people come in, now they don't even take that measure very seriously. So it is very important we resume those active measures we take for preventing COVID, because if not, we'll keep seeing increase in number, provided we are testing. If we stop testing, maybe we'll not be seeing the number. The good thing is that not everybody who contracts COVID comes down with a serious disease. But let's not leverage on that, because you may be a carrier and transmit to somebody who will eventually come down with serious disease. And for example, it may be your very close relative, your mom, your dad, and those especially elderly have a lower immunity compared to the young youthful guys. So I would recommend that let's not throw these measures to the trash. Let us rekindle them. Let us bring them back, especially now that we are receiving alerts that COVID is on the rise. Again, 675 is on the rise. Don't be numbered amongst those that have COVID. And for you not to be numbered among those that have COVID, you must. This is not government begging you. This is your own individual effort. Make sure you do take the measures already outlined to prevent COVID. Want to make sure the market people, let the leadership of market remember, see this, hear me as I'm talking now, to make sure that they make their laws as they were before. Okay,
we'll have to stop because of time. We have the news coming up very soon. But I want to say thank you very much for coming.
The vaccines, you didn't talk about them.
Yeah, the vaccines, because of time. We don't have so much time. Maybe some other time.
But the good news is that one of the guys that that brought the breakthrough in vaccination is an Abian. Great guy, Dr. Onyema.
Yes,
in US. So he's an Abian, and we're happy. So let's keep it in our mind.
All
Maybe
right.
subsequently we'll talk about that.
All right, thank you very much. I'm speaking with Reverend Dr. Stanley Okerulu. He's a medical doctor at the Isolation Center. Oh my, don't forget, COVID-19 comes your way Fridays from 11:30. It's brought to you by the National Orientation Agency with the support of UNICEF. A shout thanks to the producer, Gineka Olonha. My name is Ifeanyi Awa. Do have a great day ahead.
Thank you very much.